Hola, Susan and Mary. ¿Cómo están? This is the review of class number 3. Este es el repaso de la clase número 3. We're going to start with the irregular verbs. The first block. Verbos irregulares. The first one, poner. Pongo, pones, pone, ponemos, ponen. Valer, to cost. Valgo, vales, vale, valemos, valen. Hacer, to make or to do. Hago, haces, hace, hacemos, hacen. Salir, salgo, sales, sale, salimos, salen. Now notice here nosotros, it cambia, it changes to imos because it ends with ir. Salir, salimos. Okay? The verb traer. By the way, salir means to go out. You know that. Now, traer, to bring. Traigo, traes, trae, traemos, traen. Listen. Traigo, traes, trae, traemos, traen. Yeah? Now remember the verb valer means to cost or to be worth. Yeah? And we only use, when it's about cost, we only use it in the third person singular and in the second person plural. Yeah? For example, el carro vale mucho. El carro vale mucho dinero. Yeah? Now plural. Los zapatos valen mucho dinero también. ¿Ya? Los zapatos valen mucho dinero también. You see? Plural, plural, plural. Okay? Now, when it's about to be worth, self-worth, yeah, then we can conjugate with yo, tú, él, etc. Yeah? For example, yo valgo mucho. Tú, Mary, vales mucho. Y tú, Susan, también vales mucho. Nosotros valemos mucho. Okay? Great. Now, the exercises. You practice that, but I'm going to repeat them anyway. Yeah? Now, the first one. ¿A qué horas sales del trabajo? Mañana salimos a La Paz. ¿Dónde pones las llaves? Pongo la ropa sucia en la lavadora. You see? Sucia. Pongo la ropa sucia en la lavadora. ¿Cuánto valen los aretes? ¿Qué haces? ¿Qué haces? El kilo de pescado vale 50 pesos. Nosotros traemos el postre. Yo hago la tarea. Yo traigo el vino tinto. Ustedes hacen la tarea. ¿Cuánto vale el kilo de jamón? ¿A qué hora sales de la escuela? ¿Qué traes para la cena? Hoy yo no hago nada. ¿Ya? Now here a few tips. Watch the verb salir. ¿Ya? ¿A qué horas sales del trabajo? ¿Ya? You're going out. ¿A qué horas sales del trabajo? You use de. ¿Ya? ¿A qué horas sales de la escuela? ¿Ya? You are in your job and you're going out of the job. ¿Ya? But here watch here. Mañana salimos a La Paz. ¿Ya? You're not using de. It means you are somewhere else and you are leaving that place to La Paz. ¿Ya? So you are going out from one place to go into another place. So salimos a La Paz. ¿Ya? You can say as well, salimos a la escuela. ¿Ya? Pay attention to that. Okay? What else here? I think that's it in that block. All right? Perfect. Next one. Verbs ending in ser. Now remember we talked about this. I only put 2 verbs. You can watch or practice the other ones on the material of Se Habla. For now, we're going to focus on these 2, but in the conjugation. But we're going to focus on conocer and saber. Yeah, those are important. Okay, the conjugation in this second block of irregular verbs in the first person is conocer. Conozco, conoces, conoce, conocemos, conocen. Conozco, conoces, conoce, conocemos, conocen. ¿Ya? Merecer, to deserve. Merezco, mereces, merece, merecemos, merecen. Yeah? Now, merecer, you can use it with things like, for example, I deserve vacations. Merezco vacaciones. I deserve to be happy. Merezco ser feliz. Yeah? And so on. I'm sorry. Now, the verb to know in English has only one meaning. In Spanish has 2 different meanings. Or meanings, but we use two different verbs to use the verb to know. Yeah? Completely different thing. For example, the verb saber, which is conjugated as yo sé, tú sabes, él, ella, usted sabe, nosotros sabemos, ellos, ellas, ustedes saben. ¿Ya? Sé, sabes, sabe, sabemos, saben. This is also an irregular verb in the first person. Okay? Now the difference between conocer and saber. Saber means to know information or intellectual concepts or knowing how to do something, an ability. Yeah? Conocer means to have met somebody, to have been in a place, or to be familiar with something or with a place or even with a person. You might not have met the person, but you know the person. Yeah? So you are familiar with that person. Okay? Now, remember, conocer also can be used when you warn somebody. Yeah? It's a warning. Conozco a esa persona. No es buena influencia. Yeah? Now remember, here you need expression. Conozco a esa persona. Yeah? Ese camino es peligroso. Lo conozco. Yeah? Now, examples. With conocer, with ser. For example, yo sé la información. I know the information. Yeah? Or, I know the answer. Yo sé la respuesta. Yeah? La respuesta, the answer, is information. Yeah? Or, yo sé dónde vive Mary. I know where Mary lives. Yo sé dónde vive Mary. I know information. Yeah? Okay. Now, an ability. Ella sabe hablar alemán. Or ella sabe hablar español. Yeah? Now here is very important when we talk about languages. A person can ask you, ¿hablas español? And you will understand because you know the verb hablar. But if a person asks you, ¿sabes hablar español? Now here's the trick. Yeah, because you said ¿sabes? Yeah, ¿sabes hablar español? They're asking you the same thing, but with the verb saber. And this is very common. We use a lot the questions with saber. ¿Sabes hablar español? Yeah? ¿Sabes hablar inglés? Yeah? In Spanish, when we talk about languages, most of the times we ask with the verb saber. ¿Sabes hablar español? ¿Sabes hablar inglés? Yeah? So now you know. Now when somebody asks you, ¿sabes hablar español? Now you will say, yeah, sí, sé hablar español. ¿Ya? Sé hablar español. Or even if they ask you, ¿sabes hablar español? You can answer, sí, hablo español. ¿Ya? You don't have to say it all, sí, sé hablar español. You don't have to answer with the verb saber because it's the same thing. ¿Hablas español? And ¿sabes hablar español? It's the same thing. Yeah, they're asking you the same thing with different words. Now, if you answer, sí, hablo español, it's correct. Okay? Now, the verb saber, again, we use it for abilities. ¿Sabes jugar ajedrez? Do you know how to play chess? ¿Sabes jugar ajedrez? ¿Sabes jugar cartas? ¿Ah? ¿Sabes cocinar comida mexicana? ¿Sabes escribir en español? ¿Ya? ¿Sabes lavar la ropa? ¿Ya? ¿Sabes matemáticas? ¿Ya? ¿Sabes hacer un pastel? Do you know how to bake a cake? ¿Sabes hacer un pastel? ¿Ya? ¿Sabes hacer un pastel? ¿Sabes hacer arroz? Do you know how to cook rice? ¿Sabes hacer arroz? Now notice that I'm not using cocinar. ¿Sabes cocinar arroz? I'm sorry again. We normally use also when it comes up to cook. We ask, ¿sabes hacer arroz? ¿Sabes hacer enchiladas? Yeah, that's also another trick here. We normally don't ask, ¿sabes cocinar enchiladas? We say, ¿sabes hacer enchiladas? Then you answer, sí, sé hacer enchiladas. Yeah? Perfect. This is very important because normally we get used to, if they ask, cocinar, ¿sabes cocinar? Yeah, but you might understand. But if they ask you, ¿sabes hacer arroz? With the verb hacer, to do, then maybe you can get a little bit confused there. Yeah, but now you know they're asking you if you know how to cook. ¿Sabes hacer arroz? Yeah? Perfect. Now, okay, let's go to the exercises. Mi hermano sabe cuándo empiezan las clases. Mi papá no conoce a mi novio. Yo no conozco ese camino. ¿Sabes dónde están mis llaves? Nosotros conocemos La Paz. Ustedes saben dónde está el aeropuerto. Mary conoce a Susan. Susan conoce a Mary. Yo no sé dónde está mi bolsa. Ella no conoce las costumbres mexicanas. Mi hijo sabe jugar ajedrez. ¿Tú sabes hacer pasteles? Yeah? Now remember the verb conocer, to have met a person. Notice here, when it comes to meeting a person or knowing a person, we use conozco a or conoces a. Always, when it comes to knowing a person, conozco a Susan, conozco a Mary, conozco a Graciela, conozco a la maestra. Yeah? Always, when it comes to a person, conozco a, or conoces a, or conoce a. Mary conoce a Susan. ¿Ya? Conocemos a. Conocen a. Okay? That's with people. Perfect. Now, another important thing here is okay, the verb saber. Here you can, this is a tip here. How do you know when to use saber? So you don't have, you will have to think information. Now, how can you do that without thinking about is this information or not? Here, look for the keywords in the sentences. Relate keywords to the verbs. For example, with the verb saber, when it comes to a place, like for example, when you use donde, we usually use the verb saber. ¿Sabes dónde es la tienda? ¿O sabes dónde? ¿Sabes dónde vive Mary? ¿Sabes dónde está mi bolsa? ¿Sabes dónde están mis llaves? Do you notice that? ¿Sabes dónde? Or sé dónde están tus llaves. Yeah? Or negative. Yo no sé dónde está tu bolsa. Yeah? So look for the keywords. ¿Dónde? Relate that to saber. Yeah? Okay, when it comes to the verb, the difference between conocer and saber. Okay? Perfect. Well, those are the differences with the verb conocer and saber. Very important, Susan and Mary, because most of the people that learn Spanish, they do this mistake. They say, oh, sí, yo sé Mary. Or, sí, yo sé Susan. That's incorrect. And most of the people do that mistake. Yeah? So, if you learn that, well, now you learn that. And you will make a difference in your communication. Okay? Great. Now, I want to explain you, in general, the verb to introduce. Remember we talked about? Okay, the verb introduce in Spanish means introducir. Yeah? Introducir. But it doesn't have the same meaning. Introducir has also different meanings in Spanish. Okay? One of them is you introduce something into something. Like I introduce my hand in the washer or in the washing machine. Yeah? Or I introduce something. Yeah? But it's not about people in Spanish. Okay? When you introduce people in Spanish, sorry again. When you introduce people in Spanish, we use the verb presentar. Yeah? Presentar. I'll show you in a minute. Now, remember, the verb introducir has different meanings. But for now, I'm explaining you, I introduce, to put something into something. Yeah? That's one meaning. There are one or two more meanings. Not very common. I won't explain that right now, so don't worry. Now, the verb presentar, which means to introduce a person, has also different meanings. But when it comes to introduce a person, it is like this. I hope you can see it. The verb presentar. Yeah? But when it comes to a person, we use presentar a. The verb is presentar, yeah? To present. You can present a work, you can present something you did, yeah? You can present your art, yeah? But when it comes to people, you presentar a. You have to use a when you introduce somebody. And the conjugation is presento, presentas, presenta, presentamos, presentan. Yeah? Now, when you are introducing somebody to somebody else, you have to use the pronoun te. We're not going to explore very much this concept because I don't want you to get confused. I'll explain you by email. But for now, just learn this. Te presento a Susan. I introduce you to Susan. Te presento a Susan. Susan, this is Mary. Mary, this is Susan. Susan, esta es Mary. Mary, esta es Susan. ¿Ya? Te presento a Mary. Te presento a Graciela. For example, we are in a party, and you and Mary are together. Mary knows me, but Susan doesn't know me. Now, Mary, you see me and you say, "Hey, Graciela." And then you come to me and then you say, "Graciela, te presento a Susan." Susan, te presento a Graciela. ¿Ya? Okay? So this is the most common way to use presentar a, because we normally present one person to another person. Of course, you can use plural, but we'll talk about that later. For now, I just want you to get the concept and learn with the pronoun te, and that's an indirect pronoun. Susan, te presento a Graciela. Graciela, te presento a Susan. Yeah? Susan, this is Graciela. Graciela, this is Susan. Okay? That's how we say in español. Graciela, te presento a Susan. Susan, te presento a Graciela. Yeah? Okay. Again, just a recap. The verb to introduce, the translation, it means to introducir. Yeah? But the meaning, when it comes to introducing a person, it's not introducir. Introducir means to put something into something. Yeah? Now we are leaving that alone. Now, to introduce a person. Presentar a. To introduce somebody. Presentar a. Now you have to use a when you are introducing, when we are talking about introducing a person to another person. Yeah? If you use just the verb presentar, then it's something different. You present a work, you present your art, you present your talent. Yeah? You present an artist. Yeah? It's like more performing. Yeah? Presentar. More like performing. But we use the verb presentar. Presento mi trabajo. Presento mi arte. Yeah? You're presenting. Or you're exposing. Yeah? Like something like that. Or you're performing. It means you're performing something. Or you're showing something. Yeah? But presentar a, then you're introducing somebody to somebody else. Okay? Susan, te presento a Mary. Mary, te presento a Susan. Okay? Alright, Susan and Mary, I hope I was clear. It's a little bit confusing, but I know you'll get it. Don't worry, I'll send you the material about this so it becomes more clear. Alright? Well, I hope you have a great weekend, and I hope that you practice in these 2 weeks and you do your homework. We're gonna be in touch anyway. Okay? Take care y nos vemos. Bye bye.